Oh my god. Insides are cold. The outsides are warm.
And everything in between is just a weird fluffy
Feels
mush.
like pudding, yeah.
Hello. Welcome to the Anything Bowl, Anything Goes. My name is Miguel.
I'm Brendan.
And folks, welcome to a brand new episode of your world's favorite podcast, the one with your mom's butthole. Folks, welcome to episode 105. Nope, right past it. Welcome to episode 105. Where today, Brendan, what are we talking about?
We're talking about Mad Max, specifically the universe, not Max himself.
Not Max.
Talking about Furiosa.
A Mad Max Saga. What a title, first of all.
Yeah.
Second, is that the only thing we're talking about this week?
You think so? Yeah.
That thumbnail is going to be real difficult.
No, it's not. Oh, for you.
Yes.
Can you please fix... You have two things just straight out.
No, they just do that. Here, hold on. Let me just... I had somebody tell me that I'm having a great hair day today.
Yeah. The first time I've seen you actually be able to put it in a ponytail. It's still all back and they're still just there.
I know. The reason I haven't put it in a ponytail is because the little one just fucking sit there like that. We were going to play a game.
Yes.
Called Guess the Budget, and then the loser takes the shitty shot of tequila.
Yeah. I took that shot.
You already took the shitty shot of tequila.
What's the new punishment?
Chug a beer.
Chug a beer.
Chug a beer.
I only have tall boys of IPAs. That's not chugging beer.
I feel like that's the most 25-year-old thing you could say. It'd be like, man, all I have are these fucking IPAs in my fridge. What am I supposed to do with them?
What's funny is none of them are mine. They're just my dad's. He goes out.
No, I brought the ones that you bought. Like that's the blood orange.
Oh yeah.
Chug a beer.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab a beer. They're upstairs?
No, they're in the fridge.
Nice.
In the fridge behind the... Ready?
Ignore the man behind the crib.
He told me to put in a small person. You just wipe the green. Stop! Wait! Stop!
This is the pumpkin one. How do I want this one? Here, see.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to cut around this, or I'll just leave this in for the full episode. Hold me now.
Another beer?
No, I just grabbed another one.
I don't know. You're not.
Me?
This is your fridge stocked full of beer. Clearly. With photos of you on it.
Yes, me as a long-haired blonde baby boy.
I thought you were the redhead.
Put a photo of you right here.
I can't wait till your beard actually comes in when you find out it's been red this whole time.
Yeah, I don't know when my beard's actually going to grow in, because it's all just like this.
Does your dad grow a beard?
Yes. Well, he has the goatee, and it's all white.
Good luck editing the start of this episode.
And this is why we don't take shots on the podcast anymore.
What the fuck did that have to do with the shots? What did you do to these? Because yours also did that.
Wow. Oh, the video? Because the budget of Furiosa actually makes total sense. Oh, you're right. The entire reason we were just doing this.
Well, we got the opening weekend, or did you see that too?
The link right below it.
But you don't know it?
So now we're going to just turn it around.
Okay, how about
if
this?
you get it... You know what we can do? You want to guess the length of the movie?
Yeah.
Because it felt
like a fucking year.
So we're talking about Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga, the prequel to Fury Road, which, for context, you've seen a bunch of the Mad Max movies.
Yeah.
I have only seen Fury Road because I've never had the want or the drive to do it. The only reason I saw this, actually, is because...
Wait, what did you say? Sorry, I just said yeah.
You've seen the other Mad Max movies.
Not at all. Not one. I saw Mad Max when it came
Fury
out
Road?
Because Isaiah wanted to go see it. And I went, or maybe
Fury
it was
Road
you.
was so good.
And
we
I went,
saw it
what
in
the
theaters.
fuck is this movie?
Yeah.
And because I saw that one, I was more interested in this one.
The only reason I wanted to see this is, one, because Chris Hemsworth genuinely looked kind of funny in the trailers. And two, Charlize Theron was fucking great in that movie, and I wanted to know why they recasted her. Spoiler alert, they made her worse. How long was the movie? Because it felt like years.
Can I at least get a hint of whether the feel was accurate to the length?
It was close.
Okay, so I'm going to go with 2:15.
2:30. Really? Well, what did you think it was?
I thought it was 2:30, but you said close, so I dropped it down 15
No,
minutes.
to me it felt like a 3-hour movie because it just kept on fucking going.
Oh, no.
Honestly,
So,
I say this every week. Honestly. My honest, quick review opinion, if you really just want to watch a 1-minute YouTube video and then fucking click off, I didn't like it.
I did.
It's grown on me, and there's parts that I liked, but I think on the whole, especially I came out of the theater, I was just like, it didn't grip me.
So I understand why, because we talked about it, but I'll let you touch on that shortly. The reason why this movie, I loved it as much as I did, was because... Oh, someone's drunk, aren't they? Yeah. So... I don't remember Mad Max Fury Road at all. I remember the plot points. I remember...
It's just a lot of driving in a straight line.
And I remember some of the iconic moments, but as a whole, I don't really remember a lot of the details in the movie or whatever went on. So...
I just remember a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff.
I'm familiar with the universe, so going into this, I knew what I needed to know to understand everything, but I didn't remember whatever. So I kind of went into this almost as a standalone film, but, like, I knew the backstory. So I didn't really compare it to Fury Road at all, because I really don't remember it, and because of that, I just...
In a vacuum of an action movie.
I'm not going to go out on a limb and say that it was a great action movie, a great Mad Max movie, or anything like that, because I have nothing to compare it to.
Yeah.
But as far as what I saw as a standalone thing, the world building that they did was incredible.
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth was
surprisingly good.
Amazing. Furiosa with her 30 lines that somehow felt less than those 30.
100%.
Was
Anya
a little
Taylor-Joy
weird.
was only actually in half the movie.
Yeah, and so overall, I actually had a lot of fun and I really enjoyed it, and I'm probably gonna watch that movie again.
I will watch it again when it's on at home and it's like on my TV with the lights and shit. So I'm doing this new thing when we go to the movies or when we watch something, and now it's because when it comes to us reviewing stuff, it's always been funny and just like random throw it at the wall shit. But now I'm taking mental notes.
Yeah. Oh, I had them for a while, but it was
I'm
too
getting
harsh.
to the point
Now
where
I'm
I'm gonna
balanced.
like sign them, like write them down, and I'm gonna be like, guys, we gotta sit in the back because I gotta pull out my phone so I can write some stuff down. The mental note I took in this movie was in every genre of music, right? You have infinite subgenres. Like you can look at rock, but rock to you is actually classic rock, and then rock to me is alternative rock. But then alternative rock and like classic rock would be like, oh man, it'll like. You look at heavy metal, and there's hundreds of versions of heavy metal, and they've all divulged from different artists and whatever. The same thing goes for genres in films, and I believe that action movie is really an umbrella term, and in that you have like fan service action or otherworldly action, kind of like the Marvel movies, where it doesn't make sense. It's just action, and it's just a bunch of pretty colors and lights in your face, and you're like, all right, you have.
Yeah, I'm going to call that Marvel action for
Marvel
now on, just
action,
because I
that's
feel like
fine.
they invented that with the fan service and everything, kind of like bundled into one.
And then you have like John Wick action. John Wick, Atomic Blonde, all of the fast-paced fighting, single shots, but it's all just like Monkey Man, the same thing, even though we didn't see it.
That new Indian movie that we saw a trailer for that I have no idea what the fuck it was called.
Looks so fucking cool. Oh, it's called Kill.
Is it really?
Yes, remember?
No, I don't.
And then this to me is artsy action. Or artistic, or like overly artistic action, where this feels like something that George Miller wanted to show at like the Cannes Festival, and they were like, "What the fuck are you talking about? We're not going to show that."
I love it because I don't think there's really a whole large section of this kind of genre, and every time I see it, it's more than welcome. And I think the visuals kind of helped a lackluster movie.
Yes,
and. It fucking, like, I remember a lot of these things looking similar to how the last one looked, but somehow he made this feel to me like a world in the bubble, simultaneously like a video game, the way that the cities were like, it almost felt like settlements in like a fucking Bethesda game or something.
Yeah, I can see it.
And it was just these colors that popped and everything.
Everything was the colors. The colors jumped, like everything felt so much more vibrant and more stimulating. Yes.
Yes.
Everything was much more in your face.
Except less neon.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So if you look at them side by side between this and like Fury Road, you're like, all right, man, I understand the comparisons, but they don't look anything alike.
Yeah.
Because everything is so much more in your face. The camera angles are so different.
The other one was dirtier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The Fury Road was much more like Mad Max from the 80s, but we'll do it in 2015 and realism, grounded, whatever. And this was like, you guys have heard of Furiosa. Now you've heard of Thor the Red or Black Thor, like, well, because he keeps naming himself different shits during the movie. Another fly. Sorry, we're back at it. Long-time listeners know.
Fucking flies.
Back with the flies. Only we're at Brendan's house now. It's
they're
on
bigger.
the phone.
They're bigger. What if it stopped the recording? Get out of here.
I can catch it again. I caught the last one.
You did. It was fucking amazing. It was like the Karate Kid.
So yes, the colors and everything felt very. That's the thing that made this or had this set apart from the last one. I just like little things gripped me. Right, some of the action points were great. Most of everything that Chris Hemsworth did because he was so over the top. That's where I was like, all right, man, this movie's fucking fun. This is whatever. I'm totally fucking down for it. But then it would be like, it would slow down to a halt.
Yeah.
I understand.
Well, I didn't feel that at all.
Well, maybe not a halt, but for me, at least maybe it's the gripping was less when it focused on Furiosa because I just didn't enjoy Anya Taylor-Joy
because she didn't speak, so you didn't connect with the character.
Not even that. It's. I think it's just the way it was acted, and maybe it's because I was looking for. Because part of the conversation that Timmy and I had was, she's a frail-looking, small, mousy white girl.
Yeah.
And they're just like, no, but look, even she could be strong because they refuse to be like, oh, well, maybe you could be like a strong, physically strong woman, whatever. So I was just like, She doesn't look or feel like the character that she's playing.
No.
Like
I would give you that maybe she could be the younger version, but the fact that they ended this film as the last one started, really just like she walked out a door, aged 20 years, and turned into Charlize Theron. Like, what happened?
Yeah, and then like Immortan Joe?
Yeah, looked like a baby.
He looked like a baby, and then supposedly they're like,
Joe.
oh, yeah, that she walks inside with a peach, and then she gives him the peach, and then it's the next movie, and you're like, hold on a second. Immortan Joe's a really big, fat, dying dude in the last one, and now he's a thin little man.
Yeah, in shape. He's in his prime, even though it
exactly
happens a day later. Like, I know some of the earlier parts, obviously he should have looked like that, but as it went on, he wasn't thin. I'm not going to call him thin.
No, but he was substantially different than how he was. Because in the last one, he was like, I'm dying.
But I don't think he was fat, was he?
He was bigger, yeah.
Okay. Once again, it's been a while since I've seen that one.
Good movie. Honestly, not as good as
probably should have rewatched it for this, but
some people will be like, this is the greatest action movie of all time. I get where they're coming from. I don't agree with it.
Because they're wrong?
I get it. No comment.
I can see what you're saying with Anya Taylor-Joy. She's not a very intimidating woman.
No.
So she's probably not the best for this role. I enjoyed the kind of...
And it's not that I don't like her as an actor. As an actor, she's great in general. Mm-hmm. Most of the stuff, like The Menu, she was in Dune, everything I've seen her in, I
love her in,
yeah. In this, though, especially when she got that bald cap on and her head's like a completely different shape, not a big fan.
It's always fun when someone has long hair and they're still like, we're just gonna make this bald cap work.
Yeah. And they're like, no, don't worry, it looks perfect. And then their head is just like
fucking look like Megamind. Yeah.
Or like the dwarf kid in the middle of the movie whose head is actually that shape.
Who I don't know if he was famous.
A big deal.
Or what,
I don't know.
Like,
I don't.
I saw memes before it came out. There was like, oh, here's his role. Here's behind the scenes of him, and I'm like, who is he?
The small kid in Furiosa.
Who's a man?
That's a man.
That's a man.
Nope. I was trying to pronounce her name. I was like, that's a girl's name. No, that's young Furiosa. That's not it. Who is the small kid? Do I have to be derogatory to Google?
They definitely CGI'd Anya Taylor-Joy's face onto the kid or like did some weird warping because that entire time that face looked really fucking off to me and it was bothering the hell out of me. And like, I really can't tell if it was a face that they just touched up to do whatever or if like, I honestly think they took whatever girl was acting as young Furiosa and just spread her eyes wider to match Anya Taylor-Joy. And it just created a weird looking like little girl.
But what's funny is I really enjoyed the little girl. I really enjoyed like the way the depth, or not even the depth, but just like the
perception.
Just the way that she felt with the character. I don't know what the fucking word is.
See, I didn't like her energy. No, that's not the right word.
I tried. Listen. Okay, I'm gonna be
derogatory. Who was the midget?
I was gonna say I gotta make a derogatory comment, and I'm sorry. Okay, I said, "Who is the small person in Furiosa?" And they said, "Oh, young Furiosa." I went, "No." Okay, Google, fine. I said, "Who is the midget in Furiosa?" And they went, "Oh, it's Immortan Joe." I was like, "That is not the midget." But if you go to the images, it's just the screenshot of the guy. Okay, so you know what I'm talking about.
I'm just saying it because of the Love Guru when he's looking at Vern and he's just like, you are a midget.
I find that term condescending.
It's such a good movie. It's a good movie. We stand by it.
Everybody needs. This is a podcast off the rails already. Okay, this is why we can't take shots before the podcast. Okay, that's what this means. Last week's video did so good. Thank you, by the way,
beers.
because it was just simple beer. This one, you're like, all right, let's break out the tequila. Let's take a shot at the tequila, and then let's talk about the midget in Furiosa. And I'm clicking on links and I can't find his fucking name.
Hold on, I got you. I'll find it in like 30 seconds.
BBL Drizzy. BBL. Nope, this link says he looks like he's from Borderlands.
That's what I just clicked on. Was it a Reddit post?
Caden Bales? He's 11. We're bullying an 11-year-old. Because he was bullied for dwarfism. We're pieces of shit.
How else you gonna describe him? He's got white skin, so do 30 other guys in the movie.
Witness me. What did you think the budget was of this movie, Brendan? What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at? I'm trying to reel us in. You gotta tell me. All right, we'll be right back.
It was...
Do you want a minute? You want to just have a minute to breathe for a second, okay? As we continue to bully this 11-year-old child.
It's not the 11-year-old. First of all, they're 11. Makes a lot more sense because that acting was fucking cringe. But I typed in midget and Furiosa just straight to the point to figure out who the fuck it was. Clicked on this Reddit thing you saw, went, fuck it, I'll go to images. And the first image came up was the dude from Pirates of the Caribbean who was also a little person. And it just went, the scene from Project X where the midget comes out of the oven. And...
What?
He's dressed like a Jedi. I don't know. This is why we can't have nice things.
This is why we can't do shots before the podcast. That's the name of today's episode. Now the only combination we need is more tequila and my keys.
What? Oh my god. Okay, you
Focus.
found out he was 11. You know who he is.
Yes.
We saw that. We can't put any of it in the podcast anyway. It doesn't matter.
I'm totally going to put all of it in the podcast.
You gotta be sober when you edit. Okay.
What is the budget of Furiosa?
We never answered that.
No, we didn't. I've had the link open. That's what I've been staring at.
This was definitely a grand film, but a lot of that was desert.
It was so much CG.
So much. I'm gonna go with... I want to say a number, but I feel like it's way too high. 230!
170.
Yeah, it was way too high.
Well, the budget for Mad Max 2 was 4, so...
$4. How much you want? $4.
$4 Mad Max 2. There you go. I just gotta say, like, I understand the budget's super high, right? It's $170 million. In the trailer, they're using this one... The flies right on the light. They're using this one shot of her in front of this gate, right? And I'm thinking in my head, watching the trailer, I'm like, all right, so... First trailer that comes out, it looks like she's leaning on something, or she's like... It's like a top-down kind of angle. All this fire's blowing behind her, and it's all the colors of her face. CG looked like shit when that first trailer came out. And we were like, man, that's crazy.
But we figured out why.
And then when you get to the movie, it's so... Like there's so many random artistic shots in this movie.
Love it.
And that is one of them that just doesn't make any fucking sense. Why there's so much money, budget, time, and risk put into it. Because it's just her... She's like running, and she gets under the thing, and these guys pull out a flamethrower. And it's just this random slowdown, zoom in of her face if she's like, and then the fire comes all around her, and it's just super slow-mo, and then it picks back up. You stop for no reason.
It wasn't in slow motion.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
It's probably in slow motion in the trailer. And then in the movie, it still looked like shit.
Sorry. The whole problem with her is she doesn't have enough character development because she doesn't speak. She doesn't. You don't see her grow. She's supposed to grow through her actions. Okay, I get that. Yeah. but you don't get her thoughts. You don't get her point of view. You don't get anything. She's clearly in love with this dude in the truck, at least a little bit. I don't know.
And then there's
this like a little bit of Bonnie and Clyde thing because they're both like bandits kind of.
And then he fucking dies.
And he dies in a horrible way. She rips her arm off in a horrible way.
Yeah.
Like she's just this. Nothing about a girl who comes from the only lush environment in that entire world, who had a good life growing up, well, at least until like the age of 8, suggests that she's the kind of girl who's gonna get her arm fucking cut off and just be like, hey, you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm not gonna say anything though. Also, I'm so fucking mad at her because she was so livid with Chris Hemsworth's. Sorry, I'm still salivating really hard. Chris Hemsworth's character, and if it didn't have that exact scenario where he traded her for like what he needed, I think he would have raised her, and he would have raised her well. He seemed like he genuinely kind of loved her and was enjoying being like a father figure, and she just resented him, even though he wasn't the one who kidnapped her. It was some bullshit guy who took her away.
Dementis.
And he didn't ask for whatever. He didn't do whatever, and it just like. She just hated him a little too hard for what I think he deserved.
No, he was a piece of shit regardless. Because
he was a piece of shit, but
like
not to her.
Crucified her mother in front of her.
Forgot that happened. Happened. That's a good reason to hate somebody.
Because he didn't just crucified her over a fire too.
Yeah, she was a witch.
Oh yes, gotta burn him. Burn out the magic. No more magic for you. Dr. Dementis. First of all, what a name. Yeah. Second, I love the trend of his names. Okay, first he's Dementis, and then he sees a flare, and then he becomes the Red Dementis, and then he gets older and he becomes the Dark Dementis.
I thought he was the Destroyer Dementis.
Yeah,
so was he the Red Dementis, or are you just calling him that because he was red and he got a name and you can't remember? It was the Red Dementis?
He said, I am now the Red Dementis, and then that's why his beard and his hair were red.
I liked him with the red beard and hair.
Red Dementis was cool. I didn't like the Dark Dementis. I thought he was a little bitchy.
He got older. They aged him up. He had a little couple like.
Except his arms were still gigantic.
Sunspots. He was so fucking.
Why was he so big?
Because he's Thor, man.
Not a single Thor joke.
I saw him as Thor a couple times in the movies, especially when he was being like that father figure a little bit, and just being like, "Oh, well, you know, it's okay." But then he would go wild and be like, I talk like this." And I'm like, and I'm like, "Who the fuck?"
You know what I love is for people who haven't seen it in the trailer. There's a scene of him. You think it's his epic moment. He's like, "Go, go," and he's calling him. In the movie,
it's not.
They're splitting a dude in 5 pieces as motorcycles strip apart. Okay.
Yeah. And then he zoned the fuck out for like 3 hours. No, that was later on.
No, that was later on when it happened a second time. Yeah. When they were dragging Furiosa's love interest in a circle. I love
how he sat there so long that not only did she gnaw through the rest of her arm, she also booby-trapped his truck.
She did.
And even though he was preoccupied, no one else noticed.
Tons of other dudes just driving in motorcycles. All this movie is just motorcycles and sand.
All I'm saying is we have a gas shortage now. What the fuck are they doing then? Do they have a different kind of gas? Where's this gas coming from? There's not even grass.
Everything comes from Gas Town.
It's one oil refinery for like... I mean, I don't know how much oil that shit's pumping out. I have no idea
how any of that shit works.
But, like, there's a lot of gas that's being used. And, like, that implies that that thing ran out by the end of that movie, which is why he was struggling so hard.
Yeah.
There's just a lot going on in that movie.
Did you notice that, what's her name?
Too much tequila.
No. Did you notice, Dom's... Have you ever seen... How many of the Fast and Furious movies have you seen?
I've seen all of the trailers.
Dom's second wife, before Letty comes back, is in this movie for 3 minutes. Am I the only one that notices that?
Yep.
In the beginning, she's the blonde chick when they're driving. She's like, I have to go after my daughter. She's like, okay, take this, be safe. And then they touch their foreheads. And I'm like, oh.
That could have been anyone. I had no idea who that woman was. I had no idea who her mom was.
She's listed in the top 8 of the cast, so clearly they thought she was important. And Morton Joe is further down.
They were wrong.
Yeah. Couple other big standout moments for me is in the trailer. I'm going to relate all this to the trailer because it's basically, if you've seen the trailer, you've seen the movie. In the trailer...
Yes and no. You missed all the artisticness, which is what makes the movie.
The story you saw.
Yeah.
I want them back. It's a bunch of little quotes that stick out the most for me. And usually in a movie trailer for a big movie like this, they're going to put quotes in there that they're never going to put in the movie. It's just going to be shit to like grab you and like ADR. And in this, they make sure to put every single one. Two of the ones that stick out for me are
most movies do that.
No, most of them don't.
Marvel doesn't, but
Marvel doesn't. That's my
because
comparison.
they're fucking sneaky bitches.
Yes,
but
they are.
most people show you the movie you're going to see.
The two that stick out to me the most are I thought this was trolly for the trailer. I thought she was doing a voiceover being like, "You took my mother. I want them back. I was like, all right, I got it. Calm the fuck down." And then other than that, the little girl in the beginning who says Furiosa.
I'm Furiosa.
They took Furiosa. The high pitchness.
The way that they were talking as children just kept reminding me of the bratty girl who wanted the golden egg and Willy Wonka.
They took literally every line that other. Stop.
Sorry.
They said every line that little girl had is in the trailers.
Yes.
We've gone too far, Furiosa.
Also,
Furiosa.
What in this fucking 8-year-old girl's right mind
Gotta get a peach.
would make her go,
Gotta get a peach.
I'm gonna take on these bikers on my own.
Symmetry moment. Gotta get a peach in the beginning, peach in the end. Symmetry. Furiosa.
You know what? I'm starting to describe moments in this movie that are pissing me off.
Yes.
And the story made me very upset.
The artsiness
Was
redeemed it a little.
beautiful. Chris Hemsworth redeemed it so much. But Furiosa and her origin, half-baked is best.
Yes. Like, from a visual aspect, 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Visually, except for a couple parts, like the bald cap and the fire behind her, 9 out of 10. Characterization. Chris Hemsworth, 10.
Yeah.
Easy. So, like, one of the best characters he's played besides Thor and, like, Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Anya Taylor-Joy, 6. Story, 5.5.
5, 6, yeah.
For me, didn't grip me at all.
I was interested. It had me. It had me the whole time. But one thing that didn't have me was Anya Taylor-Joy because of the fact that we've established this on multiple different movies we've seen with her on this podcast.
Yes.
Her eyes are so fucking wide apart. And when they put the black face paint on her upper half of her face, so you only see the eyes, it makes it so much worse. And the entire time I'm looking at her, I'm just like, I know you're trying to be serious right now, but I'm just looking at your fucking eyes. I can't look at
the space that I could fit
because I'm looking at you, and somehow you're looking around me on both sides.
We just need to come to a conclusion that the black forehead look,
bad look,
doesn't work for anybody except Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
In one movie.
Yeah.
It's not a good look.
No. For anybody, even the guy in this, it just didn't work.
I also understand George Miller was like, I don't want to bring her back because the de-aging technology is not there.
It is there. You were wrong.
Or
you also did some weird shit to a kid for 90% of it, and then you had an age jump to, I don't know, a couple months before she was Charlize Theron. Yes. Why not?
And the worst part is, if we ever get a Fury Road sequel, because Charlize Theron and fucking Tom Hardy can't get along for shit.
Is that what it was?
Yes.
Oh.
It's never going to happen. Like, we might get a sequel only because they're like, oh my god, fuck, Mad Max, whatever. But
it's just going to be Anya Taylor-Joy and Tom Hardy because they were both in Peaky Blinders together.
Were they really?
Yeah. I didn't get that far.
She was in Peaky Blinders?
Yeah, later seasons.
I've never seen that.
I got halfway through, really enjoying it. Some shit happened, though I didn't finish it. But I gotta get back to it someday. And they're coming out with a movie soon. They just announced.
They are.
So
yeah, no, the only things I ever see are Cillian Murphy on like really fuckboy, like random Instagram memes that come up of him being like, "Oi, mate, my brothers, we don't like women," and I'll be like, "Oh, all right."
I watched 4 seasons of that show. I don't remember that happening once.
Maybe I wasn't paying attention to the meme. Okay, that could have easily been it.
A little tidbit about me. When I get hiccups, it takes several hours to go away.
Really? Never noticed. Because I'm the Black Dementis.
Stop it. Slim Jim. Ew.
I really don't agree with a lot of people on this movie.
What are they
Fresh
saying?
in 89 and an audience score of a 93. You want to hear some reviews?
I gotta be honest with you.
No.
This is the worst review we've done in a while.
Because I didn't like it.
We hate things, and we hate them well.
Whose fault is it? Who brought the tequila onto the set? Whose idea was it? Not mine.
The fly's fault.
She's still sitting right fucking there. He's got to go get... He's still there, Brendan. He's over there. He's going that way.
I just hit him.
No, you didn't. There's a fly.
Well, gone now. Can't hurt you anymore.
This was nowhere near Mad Max Fury Road. The scenes looked so fake. Chris Hemsworth should not have been in this movie. His character was a total joke. I tried to sit through this mess, walked out after an hour. George Miller, if you are reading this, you lost your way using CG and AI in your movie. Didn't get that at all.
What AI?
That's what I'm saying. I didn't get that at all.
Chris Hemsworth was great. He was fucking wrong. Fuck that. Honestly, if he didn't die, I'd be excited for a sequel, but because he did die, I don't really care.
Bring him back.
Bring him back. He's got a tree growing out of his dick.
That was the craziest ending I've ever fucking seen.
Weird as fuck.
Because they're like...
Because the balls have the nutrients to grow the tree.
That's true for all men. You too could grow a dick tree.
Seed for a seed.
That was the other gross part in this movie, man. So there's this, you know, in some of these movies are these, like, not fish out of water, but like these
Fish in the desert, yes.
Fish out of water into the desert movies.
Into the desert in a car.
Yeah,
Mario Kart. Whee! Sorry.
There's always something they gotta let. He's like, this is the worst review we've done. Whee! There's always something they gotta... Shut up. There's always something... There's gonna be a new thing I do in the podcast every week. I'm just gonna tell you, shut the fuck up. Okay? And that'll be the compilation at the end of the year. Shut the fuck up. Mario Kart Wii. Every character has a token or a thing that they latch onto, and hers is a gross little seed
that somehow always stays in her hair.
That's in her hair.
Shoves in her fucking
that she
mouth.
Puts in her mouth. Man, I understand this, right? Symmetry. She's like, oh, I'm a young girl. I'm put this in here because I gotta shave my head, and I'm just gonna bite on it because pain, whatever. Because she's using a dull blade, whatever. Okay. 20 years later,
she took one bath when she was 8. That seed is in her hair.
20 years later,
in the desert, and
she had maggots in her arm.
Why is she putting it in her mouth? They don't explain that. She just went nuts.
Twice.
Gonna suck on it for a little bit. Why are you doing that? I like the flavor of my hair.
This movie was so, not even so, but there was random gore.
I like that.
But it didn't make any sense. It'll be like, oh man, here's a fire moment and she's with this and Dementis. I'm the dark Dementis. And here's this. And my boyfriend, he's dead because he got dragged along. And I cut off my arm and I'm doing all this stuff. Gastown. Oh, gow, gow. And then out of nowhere, she's like, it cuts to black. And then it's zooming on the stub. There's maggots in her stub. There's maggots crawling out of her arm. She wakes up.
The underground people were fucking gross.
Scary.
They're so gross.
It's just like it.
And there was no payoff.
No!
They were like, you're going to be happier here. Why? What could you possibly
She wakes up surrounded by corpses covered in maggots.
Maggots. This is where you want to be.
Flies flying in and out of her fucking mouth.
Fuck the surface. She's like, let's lay on corpses.
You'll love it down here. I promise. And she...
I thought there was going to be some payoff for that and be like, oh, that's the safe space and everything. Like, no.
Maggots in the arm.
Yeah. Also, part of me believes that, like, she didn't actually come from a place of abundance and just hallucinated that as a kid. And just, like, she had some things and she just thinks that she comes from a place that's, like, great and everything.
That's just her memory?
And, like,
or like a fabricated
memory as a child. Because, like...
Yeah, because then she really went through it for, like, 20 years.
Where was she? Like, 5 miles away?
And then if you remember in Fury Road, when they actually go back to the green place...
Do they really? Anymore.
Yeah.
It's not there?
No.
Damn. Yeah. What happened?
Died.
No longer green.
The soil turned. Then it's all sand. Then they just go back and just kill Immortan Joe. That's
what the plot of that movie was?
Well, the plot of the movie was like, oh, we got to escape, go to the green place, because she had the tattoos and she remembered where it was.
Yeah.
And then they get there and they're like, nah, everything's kind of dead.
Yeah, I remember Mad Max.
You just remember sand.
Not, sorry, it wasn't Mad Max, it was a different Max. Or something, I don't know.
Who cares?
And I
honestly,
remember the guitar guy and the dude who was in this for like a 10th of a second. Which is cool,
and Nicholas Hoult. Witness me!
He wasn't in this.
No, he wasn't. But he was in Furiosa.
Yes. I like that they built on those characters a little bit more. Just seeing like the weird fanaticism that they have. I just
love...
The world was so cool.
My favorite thing about this movie I'm now realizing after watching our YouTube videos that I say that very often.
Mm-hmm.
But my real favorite thing about this movie is the moment when the Red Dementus shows up. He's like, I'm going to take all your shit. And he's like, all right, pick someone to fight. And they go, all right, I picked that random guy. And then he just like leaps off the building and kills himself. He kills himself. And they're basically like, every one of these guys will do the same shit. Fuck you. Get out of here. and he's just like, that was long-winded. I don't know why we had to do all that. All right, I'm going. I'm going to just go steal some other shit.
I just like that we showed up and he was like, oi, I'm going to take over everything. I can't do his accent at all.
Can't.
I cannot.
He's got to say, gow.
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 What's
there it is. I was doing it.
What's the other quote from this? There's only two big things that he says that stick out to me.
Gow.
Nope,
Just
there's another one.
fucking-
Because he's... He does the whole thing. He's like holding the mic and he's leaning.
Yeah.
What the fuck is the other thing that he says?
You want to watch the trailer? Furiosa. His weird thing with the beard was... oh, wait.
That's from the end of the movie.
It's from the beginning.
No, this is her.
Oh, I'm hearing the audio.
She's walking with the stub. That's the middle of the movie. Warner Brothers. Just be patient. Don't worry about it.
No, my nose is just running.
This is her Odyssey. No, it isn't.
I feel like you're watching the wrong trailer.
Trailer 1. This is the other thing that he says. Lady and gentlemen,
Yeah.
start your
engines!
And then right after that, what does he say?
Go! Now that you're doing it, I'm hearing how
Right?
it's
There you go.
working a bit better.
So, yeah, I've got nothing else to say about this fucking movie.
I liked his weird kind of...
Gow.
No, everything in this movie seemed really cool, but it didn't. A lot of it didn't have a payoff, including his obsession with this teddy bear.
Well,
now,
that's because his daughters died.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
So do you think we're going to get a callback?
I
mean, another
don't
prequel?
want
Are we going to
more.
work our way further and further back to where we
Prequel?
get young Chris Hemsworth with his daughters and everything? Prequel to the prequel. The squeakquel, if you will.
Chipwrecked, if you may. There's an Alvin and the Chipmunks reference.
I didn't think you were going to get it. So the fact that you went on top of it, I love.
Aren't there 4 of those?
I don't know.
The first one's so good.
The first one's so good. Then one of them, they're on a cruise ship, which I'm assuming is shipwreck, because if it's not, that's a weird thing. The squeakquel, I think they're in school. I saw all of them because I was committed to the franchise, but I also watched
You were
all of
like
them.
11.
I was
too committed
old.
to the franchise.
The first one was so good, I saw the second one, and then I didn't like the second one, but because I committed to seeing the first two, and the third one came out, I went, I guess I'm going to the movies.
Timmy, do you want to watch the Alvin and the Chipmunks movies? They're not good. Don't say they're pretty good.
The first one's pretty good.
The first one's okay.
The first one's pretty good.
The rest of them, not so much.
Fucking in the dishwasher singing, you spin me right
Nope.
round. No. I was singing the 80s version.
The
He's
Witch
singing the
Doctor.
Flowrider version. I had the Guitar Hero ripoff of
I
their
had
thing.
that, but for the DS.
How does it work on a DS?
You basically hold it sideways and it's just discs that come down. You got to click the disc in time.
I had it on
that is the
PlayStation
first-
2.
That's the first time that I ever heard a video killed a radio star
Good song.
on the DS.
That's a good
The Alvin and
movie.
the Chipmunks version.
There was a reference to a movie we watched that we will not be reviewing on the podcast.
What?
I said, that's a good movie.
Which one?
Never mind.
My stomach kind of
Clearly
hurts.
you
I
were
don't
not
know.
paying attention to the
there's
movie.
the midget kid again. Gotta close that tab. Perhaps I am burned out by prequelitis, but Furiosa felt like Miller and his co-writer Nick were playing a convoluted game of connect the dots to sync up the plot with Fury Road. I wouldn't agree with that.
I'm not liking this segment.
You don't like reading the reviews?
No.
Why?
Because the people...
They don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
They don't know what they're talking about. You're reading the shit ones. It's making me a little annoyed, and their opinions...
read a good one. You could just ask.
Read a good one, then.
Furiosa is utterly astounding in its technical precision, its cinematography, and the performances of Taylor-Joy and Hemsworth.
I still don't like it. Why the fuck do these kids sound like they're doing prompts for college essays?
Because they know that people are going to read them like this.
No! I hate them.
Miller stages operatic action set pieces.
I'm writing this right now because someone's going to review it on the podcast and they're going to pick my comment. This is going to be great. Fuck you, Miller, and your shit fucking movie. Someone's going to love this. You fucking piece of shit. Like, what the... No.
Fuck shit ass bitch, you and your midget. Period.
You started off committing so hard to not even little person, small person. And not only are you on the midget train now, you're fucking driving it.
Why you call me out like that, man? Welcome to the Off the Rails episode of the podcast. Now, for the last 10 minutes of the episode, because my tummy hurts and I'd like to go to sleep because I had a full day of work today.
It's like 8:30.
970.
That's what it was before we started.
No, it wasn't. It was 960.
Okay, we're getting there. It's got to break it. It's so close. It's got to break
Ladies and gentlemen,
we officially have a video.
We have a video that's not
that
doing...
we're very proud of.
Yes, we are. Folks, if you didn't watch it last week we reviewed X-Men 97 randomly, like a week or two after. Yes, where we binged like most of the season. Not even all of it.
I binged all of it.
Fuck you. Most of the season.
I'm better than you.
Most of the season, like the night before we reviewed it. And for some fucking reason, it's like the best performing video we've ever had.
Yeah.
And one of the shorts popped off at like 10, 11K.
Solid.
It's linked below. You gotta watch it. Like, man.
It's so good. We talk about Shark Tale. Like, it's great.
The editing is pretty good. Like,
I heard some guys doing some good things with it. I heard that we got a pretty good thumbnail. Don't know who made that.
I don't know. Fuck that guy. You want to read some comments from that video? The like ratio now is at 71%.
I'm done with the comments. I don't like the comment review. I don't know how to bounce off of it.
You don't know how to bounce off the comment review?
No. So, I want to wrap this up with just saying that even though it wasn't the best movie that came out this year, it's nice to see the blockbuster kind of summer season continue with, I'm going to call it a solid entry. It wasn't great, but it's...
That's fair.
We didn't... I didn't hate it. I hated so many movies in a row for such a long time that going to the movies...
Listen, from like October of last year...
to like February,
it's really bad.
June came out, it was rough. It was a rough go there. So just getting movies that are, even if they're not great, or just genuinely enjoyable, is just, it's refreshing.
I can accept this because I'm somebody that just complains about fucking everything. And you know what's really nice is to put on top of that? I have no idea what the fuck we're going to watch next week.
Possibly a documentary on the Brat Pack.
And Movie Pass.
Is
next week going to be the documentary episode?
Maybe. Amy's going to be excited. We'll figure something out. We can watch all of the Bad Batch between now and then.
We can watch the first 3 Bad Boys movies.
Oh boy, do I not want to do that. Not gonna lie though, the trailer did look fun. It looked bad, but it looked fun. What?
Yeah, we could do. We could review the Clone Wars. You want to keep going animated next week?
That's what I'm saying. We do the Bad Batch.
I'm not doing all that.
And it's 3 seasons.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. We've done so much more so often. I tried to be sarcastic and it came out literal.
Yeah.
Oh,
you can watch 3 seasons in a week.
I can watch 3 seasons in 2 days.
Yes, you can. I can't. I have things to do.
Commit to the podcast.
I'm committed already. What more can I give you? You've already taken my balls.
Just want a son.
Where we started House of the Dragon? We started House of the Dragon?
Yeah.
That first episode? Horrifying.
The birth?
Oh, yes. The birth. The abortion? The murder?
I thought the kid lived.
No. He lived for 30 minutes. And then they both died.
Yeah. Both.
Yeah, the wife dies too.
I thought that was her. Wow, yeah, I gotta rewatch. I'm planning on rewatching that for when the new season comes out. I gotta start very soon.
Let's talk about the 2 gory shows that I'm watching right now that I was not expecting. The Boys, wild. A-Train grabs a guy, soon as well, too. Drags his face on the pavement for like 3 miles.
Superhero orgy that also ends in a fucking murder of just so many people.
Soldier Boy, super fucking cool.
Fucking Jensen Ackles is great in everything he's in. He is so goddamn charismatic, even when he's being a piece of shit. And
I hope he's Batman.
That's him as Bruce, and then him as Batman. He can totally.
He can pull it off.
The battle right now is between him and Alan Ritchson. So we got the battle between Soldier Boy and Aquaman.
Listen, okay, we had skinny, scrawny Batman. Okay, we had less skinny, scrawny Batman. We had super wide and short Batman.
Beefy Batman.
Then Ben Affleck, for some fucking reason,
who got rated the lowest rated Batman out of any.
He's the best Batman. I can't even
remember the one after George Clooney. What's his name?
Val Kilmer?
Yes.
No, he was before.
Okay, he was the worst one. You know why? Because he's forgettable.
Because he was only in one movie.
Exactly. George Clooney had nipples.
Think about it, man.
Adam West was great, but was he? Compared to today, for what it was, I will give it. I love the 60s Batman.
Okay, look, I'm gonna link it below. I don't know if you really want to watch it. Okay,
it's old, it's bad, but it's awesome.
Yes, but we talked about ranking the Batman and the Batsuits, and Ben Affleck won because definitively he is the best Batman.
He is. No bad nipples,
but he's so wide.
Dead Robin. Wide fucking bat, good for the air, like catching him when he goes to so he doesn't biff it like fucking what's his name Robert Bat when he when he fucking like just flips and does
great
whatever.
Batman.
I just realized something.
He's
when
so
you say
violent.
Someone biffed it, is that a reference to Back to the Future because he wipes out?
I've never heard that phrase.
And his name is Biff?
Probably.
Because I've been saying that for years, and
Have
just
you?
right now, it's
never heard you say that before.
I think Isaiah says it a lot, and I just kind of like took it, and it just dawned on me. What happened? See, what happened was
we're not allowed to have shots before the podcast anymore. I think just having a beer is
and a beer
in a
beer's
tree.
Empty. Half 40, 30.
30.
Hit your second one though, right?
No.
Oh, you didn't open the other one? Second beer.
I gotta say, I really like the stop. Focus.
I'm having fun.
I know. I really like the podcast when there's a couple things for us to talk about. And right now there's not. What?
My cousin's at a Ranger game right now.
Are they losing?
I don't know. But I don't have all the numbers in this chat saved, but I'm assuming it's the other Devils fan.
Yeah.
Who was there, and after they posted a photo of them at the Rangers game, they posted a picture of Community of Chong going, huh, gay? And then immediately after, are you guys jerking each other off with each other's hands? And then under that, Dutch rudder. And I hate the fucking Rangers, and I love that. That's not going to make it into the full podcast, but if he listens to the audio, is he?
Oh, no. The audio, yeah.
The audio. So if he's listening to the audio one, what's up, Mike?
Is his name Mike?
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself, Mike.
Oh, no, he a good guy.
He a good guy?
He a good guy.
I take it back, Mike. Now I double down! Double fuck yourself. It's Brett. Listen, Mike, I'm talking to you now specifically.
No,
Mike,
what? No, you
Mike,
don't know him like that.
This is Brett. Come on, man. You don't know who he is. Mike, listen, okay, as a listener right now, right? I'm going, what the fuck are these guys talking about? What kind of nonchalant, random, all over the place shit is this? Okay, blame your cousin.
Shit about the Rangers, you know?
No, now it's the Rangers.
Yeah.
You remember what this episode is about?
Furiosa.
Yes. You didn't remember.
My brain just shut off. I wasn't even thinking. You asked and I just stared.
Mike, it's your cousin's fault, okay? Because I walked in here, okay, and I said, Brendan, I want two things. First of all, let me backtrack, okay? I walked into your house and I said, I want to do the most guy thing ever. And he said, oh, like docking? I'm not going to tell you what docking fucking means, okay? But I walked in, he said, oh, you mean like docking? No, not like docking. I'm going to put a sign above the podcast, the green screen,
no
that says
docking.
No docking, okay? Then,
There's no loading zone.
Then all I said was, man, I just want to do the guy thing. It's Friday night. I want a beer in one hand and a shot in the other. And he said, oh, tequila. And then what happened to one shot of tequila? One shot turned into two plus beer.
No, I don't know what the fuck was in your mystery bottle.
None of your business.
Nice
Entirely
bottle
Brendan's
of
fault.
Nunya.
Bottle up.
Side of business. Go fuck yourself.
Bad boys.
No. Bad movies. Actually, I've never seen any of them.
Neither have
No.
I. It's funny. We talk a lot of shit for certain movies, but they're movies we've never seen before.
No, I just hate them on principle. I'm also now just like, ever since the whole Chris Rock thing, I'm not watching anything with Will Smith in it. Not
We're
because
Team Chris Rock.
What?
We're Team Chris Rock.
Yeah, definitely.
That's right.
His
You know
wife's
why?
name belongs in Chris Rock's mouth. That was a weird sentence.
Let you die on that hill by yourself. You just.
There is another thing coming up that just got a trailer that's coming out shortly that we're going to have to watch because I love it, but you're going to have a lot of homework. You're going to have to watch 3 Beverly Hills Cops movies. if not
Axel
4.
Foley?
Yeah.
On Netflix?
Axel F. My dad watched the trailer with me. He got very annoyed that it was just Axel F. instead of Foley. Why shorten it? The original trailer also had it as Beverly Hills Cop 4, I believe, or 5, or whatever the fuck it was. And then they changed it to Beverly Hills Cop Axel F., which is a terrible name. Anyway, this has been the Anything Bowl.
What's
where
his
anything
name
goes.
in The
Eddie
Boys?
Murphy.
No,
What?
like the Batman equivalent in The Boys.
Black Noir.
There's a clip in season 3 of Black Noir when he's a cartoon goat. And he goes up to talk to to Soldier Boy. He's like, "I was gonna be fucking Beverly Hills Cop, man. Why'd you say something?" And then he just beats the living shit out of Black Noir.
Yeah.
And you're sitting here going, "Yeah, we gotta watch that movie." And I'm just thinking about the Falcon beating the shit out of the goat.
Did you finish season 3?
No.
Oh, it's good.
I'm close.
Yeah.
Coming.
So was Homelander. Anytime he drinks milk.
Yeah, he milked a cow.
And his girlfriend / mom friend. Whatever the fuck was going on there.
Yeah, she's dead now.
Yeah. So was his Nazi girlfriend. Not a good run. Very bad choice of women.
I know what the show's building up to just like, what's the most gruesome way we can kill Homelander?
Yeah.
And that's all. It's just a really slow jerk off of like, Homelander's gonna die at some
But that's
point.
what that show is, though.
Yes.
Like, it's just we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
Oh, I'm stopping.
Oh,
now.
we're stopping.
What
Guess
are you
what?
gonna do?
New villain. New hero. Just
That's on camera. Why did you? Like you could have gotten away with one. For the audio
because
listeners,
they were different sides. It was the good side and the bad side.
for the audio listeners, Brendan was just jerking people off in midair.
No, they were jerking us off, but it was the good side.
No,
And the bad
on the
side.
camera. Okay,
But not together. I'm doing it out here, so it's not near my face.
they still see you.
I'm a plane. I'm done. I can't function. This is just dumb shit. This has been the Anything Bowl.